Welcome to the Restaurant Show. I'm Justin Riley, and I hope you stay with us today because we've got a great show with some great local food. We're going to be joined by a brand new food presenting partner, Gooseberry on the Square. They're in downtown Madison, and they're going to demonstrate how to make crab cakes and chocolate caramel pecan tart. They'll also talk a little bit about their upcoming Thanksgiving Day meals that are available to folks. Also, if you like food tours, you'll want to stick around for our second segment because Madison Eats is going to be joining us, and Otelia is going to talk to us a little bit about the different food tours that they have coming up this month. And our good friend, Chef Peter Lidstrom from Tuscany is going to drop in and show us some lobster marinara. It's to die for. It's all coming up right here on the Restaurant Show, where we stop by the best restaurants in town so you can skip the rest and enjoy the best. We'll tell you where to go on the Restaurant Show. Welcome back to the Restaurant Show. With me now is Chef Peter Lidstrom from Tuscany. Peter, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm excellent. Always good to have Tuscany in the house. If you haven't checked it out, just head on down to Fitchburg. Great food there. What are you going to be making for us today?
Lobster marinara.
All right, that sounds good. You piqued my interest when you said lobster. So how do we get started? What's the first step?
Start with oil, as usual. Oil first.
All right, and is this olive oil, vegetable oil?
Extra virgin olive oil.
Extra virgin, all right.
And then we take little spices here, and a little more spices here.
Is that cilantro that you got over there?
It's cilantro, and this is more garlic, salt, and pepper.
Okay.
It's just to get the flavors out.
You want to get the pan pretty hot, it looks like.
Yeah.
Okay.
And here I have some other spices that goes in.
All right.
Thyme and some secret spices.
Secret spices. We can't talk about those.
No,
we might have to kill you. So.
Yep.
You just agreed with me without even flinching.
Yeah.
While that's getting ready, talk to us about a little bit about what's going on that's new on the menu coming up this month at Tuscany.
We have new stuff. This lobster marinara is new on the menu. We have new steaks that's coming up. We have a marinated Italian steak that's marinated in balsamic and stuff like that. It's like cut, sliced down thinly.
Okay.
A steak Florentine.
Steak Florentine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have different pastas coming up and more fish coming up. And it's like we have to have, before we had 3 sauces on the menu, now we're going to have 16.
All right.
So we're stepping up, and now you can actually choose between 7 sides.
All right.
Vegetables, before we had 1 side, and now we have 7. And you can have risotto, you can have au gratin potatoes, you can have baked potatoes, you can choose whatever you want. You can build your own little dish.
So the options are expanded.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
great. That's fantastic. And you can keep going, and we can keep talking here. There's a new restaurant that just opened up recently called the Thirsty Goat. Tell us a little bit about that.
The Thirsty Goat is same owner as Tuscany.
Okay.
And it's more a sports bar, but it's a barbecue and smoke. It's mostly smoked dishes.
Okay.
And it's a pretty nice place. I've been there a couple of times, and it's really nice.
So brisket and pulled pork and that kind of thing?
Absolutely.
And I understand that you can get pulled pork on a salad.
Yes, you can put pulled pork anything.
On anything.
I don't know with ice cream, but it wouldn't surprise me. Maybe it's good.
Well, make the request, and
see
worst they can do is say no, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I put white wine in here, vegetables. Okay. Now I put vodka in here.
Ooh, all right.
Crank it up a little, and then we add marinara sauce.
You make the marinara sauce?
Yeah, it's made in the house.
Nice. And is there any specific type of vodka that you recommend people use if they want to make something like this?
We say it like this, I'm from Sweden, so I recommend Absolut.
Okay.
That's made in Sweden, so that's the best vodka in the world.
All right. Enough said. Enough said. Take it from this guy.
And here we have some stock too that goes in here.
What kind of stock is that? Is that vegetable?
No, it's a seafood stock.
Seafood stock. Yeah. Okay, great.
Now we're just gonna add all this stuff and let this simmer.
All right. So
lobster.
And that's the lobster.
Yep.
Now go ahead. You're good.
Clams.
Now it's always surprising to me because I've seen you cook like this before, but you actually throw the shells right in the pan. I would almost think that, you know, if you're cooking on a pan, that you would remove it from the shell and then put it in, but that's not typically how it's done.
I mean, the shells is there to cook and they have flavor in them too. I mean, if you want them stocked, you can use shells. And people like to eat out of the shells. And
sure, yeah,
nice.
I suppose. Yeah. All right, what's this that you got?
This is scallops.
Okay.
It's the last thing we're gonna add to it.
All right. Starting to come together. And how long does that have to simmer?
Probably for about 5 minutes. So
Okay.
right now we're going to try to hopefully speed it up here.
All right.
We can finish it.
All right. That's all right. Tell us a little bit. I don't know if we have 5 minutes left, but we do have a little bit of time left. Tell us a little bit about holiday parties, opportunities for holiday
parties over at the Tuscany. We can take 80 people, 100 people. We have, the hotel. We can take 250 people. And right now it's the holiday party time, and we want everybody to come in and book your parties.
Okay.
Because all the menu we have, we can choose from the menu, and we can set up however you want.
So you need to go to the website to book your party, or
Yeah,
do you call,
can call and go to the website. It's an email address on the website.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good. Can I try that real quick? I'm just kidding.
Not yet. I added now cream to this too.
What kind of cream was it?
Only heavy whipping cream.
Heavy whipping cream.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I just wish this was like bubbly, bubble, but.
So eventually, when it starts bubbling, then you let it go for a few minutes, and
Yes.
then you plate it up. And
Yes.
what do you serve it with typically?
We serve it with linguine pasta.
All right.
So if you're going to toss it in there and stuff, but we're probably going to have time to finish it.
Okay. All right.
So I think, because seafood is one thing with seafood, it cooks really fast. Like if there was shrimp in here,
Okay. Great. Great.
really, really good.
So this is 2016. You've got some new menu options coming up for Tuscany. You're always expanding your offerings that you have to folks, and a lot of those things that are on the menu are also available at the parties. That if you wanna...
absolutely. I mean, we have the Wyndham Garden, the hotel. We have a banquet menu, but Tuscany we have a menu, and I said the menu we have is just a guideline.
Right.
I mean, if you come in there and say, I want this, and we figure out how we do that, for the cost we can do it, and we do it. I mean, it's nothing, I don't think nothing we would say no to.
Right. You're not bound by the menu, in other
No,
words.
absolutely not.
Okay, that's good to know.
Absolutely not.
That's good to know. Are you looking forward to the holidays? I mean,
I am. I'm looking forward.
You stay busy during the holidays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't. It's a lot of business, a lot of parties, a lot of different food and different challenges and stuff, and it's going to be fun.
Okay, well, very good.
Yeah, and I hope like that GOAT is going to be the first holiday. It'll only be open for a month now.
Yeah.
And they're getting parties too, so they're going to have different food over there. And we're actually thinking about starting some kind of brunch over at the Tuscany we're talking about. But that's in, things happen slowly, maybe in a year. But
Yeah.
we've been talking about it.
Baby steps. Okay, what do we think? Are we ready to go here?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Do a little shake here, and then we're going to add the pasta.
Okay. Want me to bring that out there?
There we go. Shake it some more. And hopefully not spray it all over the place. And then.
Oh, look at that. That's beautiful.
And.
Just beautiful. We're going to garnish it up.
Cheese.
I have to hold my.
And there's
my
lobster
forehand
marinara.
There you go. Well, Peter Lidstrom, thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
Always enjoy having you. Don't
Thank
go
you.
away. There's more restaurant show coming up after the break. Stick around. Coming up next on the restaurant show, local food tours with Madison Eats. Welcome back to the restaurant show. If you're new to the Madison area, or if you've lived here your whole life, you'll want to stick around for this next segment because I'm joined now by Otelia Cassidy from Madison Eats. Otelia, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You do local food tours.
Yes.
I'm really excited to talk about this because, Madison's got such a vibrant local food scene. So I'm going to just jump right in and say you're going into your 6th year owning and operating Madison Eats Food Tours.
Yes.
What exactly is a food tour?
A food tour is just a really great way to get to know the culture and history of a city or a community, a neighborhood, by tasting the food. So for example, on a Madison Eats food tour, we'll go through a neighborhood, we'll go to 4 or 5 different places, tasting the food. We also sometimes get a behind the scenes look, maybe at a brewery, or we get to meet the owner and hear their story. So it's kind of like a progressive meal, but a little bit deeper than that, and really fun.
You learn the story, and you not only just enjoy the food, but you enjoy the story behind the food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like a closer connection to those people who are making all this great food we enjoy.
And talk a little bit about what regular tours you offer, and do they happen during the winter?
They do happen during the winter. I mean, I figure it's a great excuse to get out of the house when the snow is coming down a little bit. Some of the outdoor food carts we won't be able to visit during the depth of winter, but all of my tours run year-round. So the typical tours that I operate are downtown around the Capitol Square. also Atwood neighborhood and Willie Street neighborhood. And so I have a few examples of what you might taste on a tour.
Sure, yeah, talk to us a little bit about what you got here.
Yeah, so for example, on the downtown tour, we started Fromagination. We have some delicious cheese here, which also happens to be a local cheesemaker, Roth cheese.
Okay, and what kind of cheese is this? This is Van Gogh vintage aged Gouda cheese.
Exactly, and that one is, so we typically at Fromagination will try a few different Wisconsin cheeses.
Is this good to eat by itself, or do you put it on a cracker typically? Or?
I have been amazed. I've learned so much about cheese on doing these tours myself.
Yeah.
And I found that the cheeses have such an incredible flavor. It's like wine. They all have a different kind of flavor profile, and they sit on your tongue in a different way. So I like to eat them by themselves.
There we go. Bottoms up.
We also...
I love Gouda.
Isn't it amazing? They do a great job.
Right. Okay, what do you got here?
Yeah, so these are sliders from Slide Food Cart. They're a partner on my food cart tours and sometimes on the downtown tours if the weather's nice. So we have their buff chick and also their sweet potato slider. And this is a great vegetarian option.
I was going to say, that must be a vegetarian option. I didn't even notice until now. That's literally slices of sweet potato.
Slices of sweet potato, and it's got a nice curry sauce on it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so these are two of their more popular sliders that we might taste on the tour.
Okay.
We also, on the Atwood neighborhood tour and also the Willie Street neighborhood tour, we stop at Lao Lan Sang. They've been in the Madison area for close to 30 years.
Wow.
And they've been a great partner for us. And these are spring rolls with traditional Lao sausage.
All right.
So one thing I really love about, for example, on the Atwood and Willie Street tour, when we go into Lao Lan Sang and taste their food, we not only get to eat a delicious meal, but we get to learn a little bit about Lao culture.
That's cool.
And the cuisine, where his mother learned to cook. The owner on Atwood Avenue, his mom was the one who taught him how to cook all the food that he makes, and so it's just it's a great insight into some of the diverse culture that we have here in Madison as well.
Food is a lot like music. I mean, if you know a little bit about the background of the composer and the context under which it was created, you can enjoy that music better. Food is the same way, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the samples you brought in all represent local food producers. Is that what typically people enjoy most about your tours?
Yeah, I think that's something that is just so important to me personally, is that we're supporting the things that the foundation that Madison has that makes it great. We're supporting our local economy, we're supporting local food entrepreneurs, we're supporting people from diverse cultural backgrounds. So we definitely, I focus on working with locally owned restaurants and shops, and they also focus on sourcing from local farmers or food artisans and producers themselves. So it's really a great way to support our own local economy.
Yeah, absolutely. And your tours obviously focus around the food and the story behind it, but does it go beyond that at all? I mean, are you looking into anything more that's beyond the food itself?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of great food on the tours,
right,
and it really is a great way to enjoy a meal, and drinks as well. We have tours typically have a beer, cocktail, or wine sample on them, so that doesn't hurt either.
Right.
But it's really not only about connecting with our community, so getting to know the community that we live in better, making it making a deeper connection to the people who kind of make it thrive. But also on the tours, you get to spend time with other people who are also interested in the same thing that you are. So it's a great way to connect with other people as well, just guests on the tour, families and friends.
Absolutely. Gather with friends, good food, great company. I want to make sure I get to this. You also offer some seasonal, special seasonal events. The annual Artisan Food and Craft Beverage Holiday Tour is coming up on November the 18th.
Yes.
What is that event like, and how is that different from your regular tours?
Yeah, so that's a special seasonal event that I offer, and I work with other local food producers. So these are all representing other producers that we have in the Madison area, people who maybe don't have a restaurant or a shop, but they're behind the scenes making the products that some of these other people use. So on this tour, we'll visit the food incubators on Madison's east side, so Baldwin Street Enterprise and Main Street Industries, and then so the tour is getting to see the actual production facilities, meeting the people who are making like Quince and Apple jams or Potter's crackers.
Wow.
And then we end up at Old Sugar Distillery for a party, so that's going to involve cocktails, and sometimes we'll even have kombucha samples.
Okay.
Live music, appetizers, and I've had great sponsorship from Summit Credit Union and Madison College.
Okay.
So it's going to be a really big, really fun event focusing on all the great artisan food producers we have in Madison. There'll be lots of food, and it benefits Just Bakery, which works with former inmates to give them baking skills.
And this is my opportunity to try
Yes,
kombucha for the
which
first time, folks.
Yeah, never tried before, so kombucha.
Bottoms up. You know, that's not bad.
It's a fermented tea, which is hard to describe in any other way, but I think it's kind of like tart and light.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's, I want to have another sip. I kind of like that. Really quick, we just have, we're actually out of time, but I want to make sure I get this in. What other special food events do you offer?
Well, you know, it's nice to get out of Madison in the winter. So I also offer a culinary tour to the Yucatan in Mexico, where we do food demos, yoga on the beach, and, you know, just another chance to enjoy food in the warmth.
MadisonEats.net is where you find out more information. Otelia Cassidy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Don't go away, there's more restaurant show coming up after the break. Stick around. Coming up next on the restaurant show, crab cakes and chocolate caramel pecan tart with gooseberry on the square. Welcome back to the restaurant show. I am so excited about our next guest. We are joined now by Gooseberry on the Square. They're over on South Pinckney Street, and I'm standing next to David Ceramic. Thank you for being here with us today, David.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. You're one of the co-owner and co-chef, I guess, one of the chefs there. What are we going to be making first today, David?
Today we're just going to do a crab cake for you with a caper remoulade sauce underneath.
Okay, so what's the first step? It looks like we already have it cooking over here.
Yeah, but I started one just so you didn't end up with a cold crab cake. But we start with two different, a lump crab meat.
All right.
And then some of the back fin just to give two different textures.
Okay, I got it. So this is the finished product, and you're going to kind of walk us through the process here.
Right, yep.
Got it.
We take it and drain it just so we don't have any excess liquid.
All right.
Panko breadcrumbs, just a breadcrumb that we use a lot in the restaurant. Small amount of mayo, just enough to, you know, hold everything together, not make it too greasy or slimy.
Right.
And then all I did with these is some yellow and orange bell peppers.
Okay.
Sauteed up with a little red onion in clarified butter. Just add a little extra flavor into them.
Clarified butter.
It's just you take, you melt butter down and remove the butter solids. So, so the butter won't burn when you heat it up.
Got it, yeah.
And then we just do a spice mixture of it, smoked paprika, chili powder, salt, pepper, garlic powder. Pretty straightforward.
Wow. I love me some crab cake, so I'm looking forward to trying that one that's cooking over there. And then it looks like you've got some sauce here. What sort of sauce are you? I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but what sort of sauce are you serving this with?
It's a caper remoulade. It's just it's a sauce I grind up capers with lemon juice and parsley, then added to mayo and more seasoning, just to kind of give a little acidity and brightness to the crab cake. So once you kind of can make them into a patty, is really what you're looking at. It's obviously a huge patty, but
hey, that's all right. Throw it on there.
So once you can kind of make it into a patty, then I just sear it in a pan to kind of get some color on both sides.
Sure. How long does that typically take to cook it?
Not very. I mean, probably a few minutes on each side, depending on how hot you get.
Got it. And this is something that's on your catering menu, but can you also get it by just stopping into the restaurant?
It's mostly done on our catering menu, but sometimes I do a crab cake sandwich in the restaurant as a lunch special. Okay. But it's more done on the catering menu.
Okay. Well, I am excited to try this. So let's get this plated up for me, so I can eat.
So we just put a bunch of the sauce kind of on the bottom of the plate just to give it a base.
All right. And while you're doing that, I'm just going to ask you real quick. You've got Thanksgiving is coming up, and you've got some Thanksgiving Day specials. You want to talk to us a little bit about that real quick?
Yeah, we put together a package in case you don't want to do all that cooking at home. So it comes with a turkey, mashed potatoes, green beans, stuffing, gravy, cranberry sauce, and 2 pies.
Okay, 2 pies.
That people then can pick up at the restaurant. We have reheat instructions, so then you can just heat it up in your kitchen, and it kind of takes all the mess out of Thanksgiving dinner.
Taking the mess out of Thanksgiving. We like that.
So we just did the crab cake on the bottom, and I just pull a little, mixed greens or arugula on top just to kind of give a little color to the plate.
Cool.
So
I take a little taste here?
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh my God, it's perfect. Good crab cake.
Well, thank you very much.
Crab cake. We're gonna take a quick pause and we're gonna check in with Deneen, and she's gonna show us a great dessert. So stick right here. And now we're here with Deneen Ceramic from Gooseberry on the Square. Deneen, welcome.
Thank you.
Chocolate caramel pecan tart.
Yes.
Come on.
It's a mouthful.
I am really excited to see how this is made, and I'm really excited to try it. So, what are you doing here? What's this first step?
So I've actually started the caramel because it takes a little bit of time to cook.
You're actually making the caramel yourself.
Making caramel from scratch. You're going to use sugar and water, just
Okay.
a pinch of salt,
Okay.
and get that cooking on the stove.
Okay. And is it caramel or caramel, or does it matter?
You know, it depends on what kind of mood you're in. Or
Okay.
where.
I'm in
Sometimes
kind
I
of a
say
caramel mood today, so I hope that's okay. Sounds like you might be in a caramel mood, but
Yeah.
anyway. If somebody wants to make this at home, I don't know too many people who make their own caramel, but what advice would you give people watching on if they decided that they wanted to give this a try?
The darker the caramel gets, I don't know if
Okay.
you can see how dark that is there, the more pronounced the caramel flavor is going to be.
Oh, okay.
So the lighter it is, it's not going to taste as much of the caramel flavor in your tart.
Okay. So darker to a point is better. We don't want
Right.
super dark.
Don't want to burn it.
Right,
So
okay.
once you get to the color that you're desired, you're going
Okay.
to add cream.
Oh, all right.
Now you want to be very careful when you're doing this. There's nothing worse than a caramel burn.
Oh, okay. Now, is it pretty customary to have the burner on really high? I mean, do you want really high heat typically?
You want to in the beginning.
Okay.
You don't want to burn it, so
Sure.
you might want to turn it down when you're adding the cream or add it off the heat.
Got it. All right. And it's bubbling up like that. That's just so cool looking.
It is. That's where all the burns happen, so just be careful.
All right.
So once all that is incorporated and it's liquid,
All right.
you're going to add it to your semi-sweet chocolate in a bowl.
Oh, all right.
And you're going to
now
be
it's
making
starting
a
to look
ganache.
like caramel. I can kind of see that. All right. So this is actually a ganache that you're making. I love ganache. I'm such a big fan
Add
of
all
ganache.
that rich gooiness.
All right. Awesome. And obviously this is just one type of tart. What other types of tarts does Gooseberry offer?
We also do a lemon tart. We can do a fruit tart topped
Okay.
with fresh berries in season.
Okay.
There's
Very cool.
also pumpkin or apple, cherry, anything that you make a pie, you can make a tart on.
All right.
So
All right. Do you do pumpkin year round?
we do.
All
Any
right.
request.
I'm there. I'm there. Middle of summer, I'm going to come get me a pumpkin tart. You guys have applied recently for a beer and wine license. You've been open for about a year and a half now, and you've recently applied for a beer and wine license. Any idea when you might be able to start serving and what the selection that you might be offering would be?
We are going to be hopefully serving within a couple weeks,
Okay.
and we're offering bottled beer that's local, and
Okay.
then 3 reds and 3 whites by the glass.
Okay, great. Great.
Hopefully that'll take off and we can offer more.
Excellent. Excellent.
So once this is all melted together, you're going to pour it in your tart
Oh,
shells.
you literally just pour it in the tart shell. Where do you get the tart shells from?
These are just pre-made.
Sure. All right.
You want to bake them fully baked because they're not going to go back in the oven at this point.
Right. Is it similar to a pie crust then?
It
or-
is.
Okay.
This one is an all butter tart shell.
Okay.
So there's butter, flour, sugar.
Sure. Okay. And do you mind if I try one of these?
You
real
sure
quick?
can.
All right.
And then you're going to top it with some toasted pecans or a nut of your choice.
Oh my gosh, that is so good. Deneen Ceramic and David, thank you so much for joining us from Gooseberry on the Square. Head on down to downtown Madison and check them out. This is some great food. We'll be right back with more Restaurant Show after the break. Thanks so much for joining me here today on the Restaurant Show. I hope that when you and your family are out and about looking for a place to eat or at the local grocery store, you'll consider any one of these fantastic locally owned businesses. That's all the time we have for today on the Restaurant Show. This is Justin Riley reminding you that life is too short to eat average. We'll see you next time.